Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Brian on Eldrazi post leading out with Blast Zone, and Adam Champ Brennan on Blue Red Delver has a Volcanic Island along with a Ponder. Eldrazi post has some very scary openings, especially Chalice of the Void can be crippling versus these Delver strategies. So we'll see if Brian going to be able to get anything down in there. We see perhaps the best card in the deck, Chalice, meeting Force of Will. So both players' strategies kind of coming together. Brian finding a Chalice, Adam having a counter for it, and it's anybody's game from here. Young Pyromancer, the card that can go very wide around Eldrazi's potentially singular threats. A lot of the time they'll be able to get down a very large body. Not common for them to go super wide. They do have some crowd control in the form of Endbringer, which can ping creatures or players. A card advantage engine. And a Young Pyromancer getting in there. Another Young Pyromancer, so things could actually go very, very wide with any type of instants or sorceries at all. Looks like perhaps Brian's hand was all in on Chalice. So far, just 4 mana total, Blast Zones and Glimmer Posts, tapping for 1 mana apiece. This is not looking great so far for him. And Brainstorm, the token generation begins. Wasteland on Adam's side of the board. Very dangerous. Going to stop these Blast Zones from being able to handle the situation on either side of those counters right now. So he's got Blast Zone at 1 with threats at 0 and 2. And now another 2 mana threat in Dreadhorde Arcanist. Wasteland number 1. Taking out that Blast Zone as Brian attempts to tick up. Now a 4 mana Thought-Knot Seer, enabled by Ancient Tomb, chipping away at his life a little bit. Force of Will brushes that aside, adding to Adam's growing army here. Ponder off of Dreadhorde Arcanist. And this is a mountain of damage. It looks like 9 coming in. Most likely just a swing for lethal here for Adam. Brian at this point not even adjusting his life total. I believe he's just resigning to the inevitable here in game 1, and he does. So Adam taking down game number 1 in a very tough matchup. Chalice can be absolutely backbreaking, although at least the Delver decks do have threats that are not just 1 mana. There have been some Delver decks that were even more susceptible to Chalice in the past. For example, Death Shadow at one point was running Delver, Death Shadow, and Deathrite Shaman as their only win conditions. That meant Delver was absolutely shut down by a Chalice of the Void. Gurmag Angler eventually was introduced and kind of allowed them to not auto-lose to Chalice, but it's still a very powerful tool versus these Delver strategies. They really do want to be able to use their cantrips to filter into the proper mix of threats and answers, apply pressure, and just get the game over with as fast as possible. That compares to the control strategies in the format, which also use cantrips but are more comfortable with things just going on indefinitely. They feel like they've got a better late game. They have cards that clear the board, things like Toxic Deluge, Supreme Verdict, Terminus, things that can kind of cash in for card advantage later on and really stabilize. Delver really doesn't have the ability to do that. not part of the game plan. You're just going for the throat. And for that reason, I think it's actually one of the better choices for people who are looking to start casting counters in Legacy. If they haven't been flinging Force of Will, I think Delver is one of the best decks to begin that with. In the past, that may have been Merfolk, but now Delver seems to be the easy choice when it comes to early aggressive beats, and there's actually a lot of variety. You've got Blue-Red Delver, Bug Delver, Grixis Delver, all of them with overlap, but distinct decks in their own right. I believe we are finally on the London mulligans. Went through quite a lot of back footage the last couple of weeks. Nope, it is still the Vancouver. Sorry, folks. This is not as good looking a game for Adam as it would be otherwise. Delver of Secrets on the first turn, and he may prove me wrong. Chalice now, and again, Adam with the Force of Will for Chalice. The last game, Force of Will plus some cantrips. This game, Force plus the Delver. Things are looking pretty good for Adam, despite mulliganing. Preordain continues to dig. He has a clock. Question is he going to want more pressure, or is he going to want more permission? Ooh, and Reality Smasher. Perhaps Adam choosing wisely here actually does have an additional force, keeping the board clear. He would have lost a race to that 5/5 haste creature. Also, nearly impossible for him to remove without it being a real disaster. Brian here on at least 5 mana. 7 if he's casting Eldrazi. He has some options. Leading out with Karn. Who is just going to function as a one-time tutor, as well as a little bit of life gain. Lightning Bolt clearing Karn, so doesn't even lose the attack step. 3 more damage coming in. Karn, a very scary card. Not as scary as he is in Vintage. We'll see if this 3 damage to Karn ends up being correct. Tough to know. Urborg now can allow Brian to use Ancient Tomb without taking damage, which may become relevant as his life total dwindles. And we actually see exactly that. So Ratchet Bomb along with Chalice. Down to 6. Could have been down to 3. It looks like if Adam doesn't have any more creatures on board, this could swing back in Brian's direction. A Reality Smasher. And the tables have turned. A Sorceress Spyglass. Going to give perfect information here. Adam sacrificing the fetch land. Oh, and seeing, looks like Vapor Snag, which is shut down by this Chalice. And I believe Misty Rainforest. This Chalice is going to prevent Adam from getting back into this game very easily. 3 turns left against this Reality Smasher. The majority of Adam's deck shut down by this Chalice. Glimmerpost now letting Brian gain life. And that's going to do it. Adam not seeing any way out of it, leaving time in game number 3. So close. So very close. Just one burn spell away, potentially, from ending that. But that Chalice really eliminating Adam's ability to get back into that game after the Ratchet Bomb. Karn doing some work. Grabbing Ratchet Bomb as an answer to Delver of Secrets. Nowadays, Delver costs 1 mana while flipped. Previously, it would be a 0 mana card. Getting a message there from Rich Shea. We're going to be doing a little bit of a team up, trying to raise some funds for his favorite charity, the IOCC, International Orthodox Christian Charities. They're doing some work in Syria, which is very near and dear to Rich's heart. One of the only charities working in that very dangerous part of the world. We're going to be raffling off the playmat that he won from the Old School Open. I believe it was the first Old School Open here at ELD Steinball Games. So he's going to be putting that mat up in a raffle. Anybody that wants a chance at it will be able to donate. We're on at a to-be-determined date. We're going to work together on that to make sure that the word gets out. He does do live streaming of his vintage play on Twitch. The ATOG Lord, definitely worth checking out. You may have seen him on Vintage Super League as well. A very accomplished vintage player. And you'll be seeing a match that I played against him coming to the channel fairly soon. This happened this past weekend as I'm recording this. We do have quite a lot of matches to get through here. Going to be no shortage of footage. Aiming for pretty much daily content at this point. We've got Wednesday Night Legacy, Friday Night Legacy, and ELD Opens every weekend, so it's a lot of matches. Adam here leading out with Volcanic Island into Ponder. Fetching that Volcanic in the face of potential Wastelands, which may mean a land-light hand with a desire to play multiple spells. Sometimes it means an abundance of lands. You're hoping your opponent Wastelands. That's one of the interesting parts of Legacy, is trying to figure out the different reads that your opponent's hand might mean. One of the things I enjoy more about the in-person Magic. And we've got a Daze on Thorn of Amethyst here off that Volcanic Island. Young Pyromancer and Delver already possibilities. Wasteland trying to set Brian back, and Adam hoping for a quick flip, which would turn this into just a 3-turn clock. Grim Monolith is permitted, no way of stopping it yet. During the upkeep, Adam prioritizing this Delver flipping above potential card quality. Not going to be able to go as deep. And I believe he may have actually known what the contents were based off of that previous Ponder. So looks like Adam playing very tight here. Keeping the pressure going. Another Delver added to the board. Brainstorm almost certainly going to ensure that this one flips as well. Reality Smasher, and that is just really not the type of creature that Brian's going to be happy about here. He's going to be losing this race. Oh, and Delver not flipping. That is a surprise. Adam was able to brainstorm and put 2 back. Perhaps an error there. Adam not so far ahead that it's without consequence, but he is very far ahead. This is nearly over. Ooh, and another Wasteland setting Brian back. This Grim Monolith not untapping, and this could be a wrap right here. And it is, in fact, Brian extending the hand, not going to force the attack. Adam with just a very powerful draw there, going wide and causing massive damage early, backed up by Wasteland. Exactly the type of thing Blue-Red Delver is looking to do against a deck like Eldrazi Post. He had counters when he needed them and used them well. So, fun match. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.